It'd be cool if it was on the other side. It could be a mustache. It's on the wrong finger.
You have a little cut?
Yeah, from work day last night.
Bathrooms.
On the bathroom partitions.
I have a scar on my finger.
Where'd you get that from?
When I was in middle school, I broke my finger.
Oh.
Yeah.
You look like a bubble, not a scar.
Yeah.
It healed, my cuticle healed wrong.
Yes, it did.
So it's all jacked up.
It's not that bad.
And the guy told me like, oh, it's going to heal perfectly fine.
Oh, yeah.
He
No.
lied.
Didn't.
Yeah.
I lied to you.
I was with this kid and we were playing slaps, and then I thought we were done playing, so I just left my hand sitting on the desk resting,
And
and
he
then
slapped
he
you.
slapped it, and it just like bubbled up immediately, like red. And I told the teacher like, hey man, I need to go to the nurse, and he's like, you're fine, sit down. I'm like, no, I think I'm about to pass out. Like
It hurt that
It
bad?
It hurts insane. It broke at the
I was
growth
about to say,
plate.
did you break a...
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah, they had to do surgery on it.
Never played
Oh, my goodness.
slaps with that
You should have gone
guy
back to that
again.
teacher and
Yeah.
been like, booyah, I told you.
Yeah, I did. I did.
He did.
I did.
He's like, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Oh, yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
my cast.
Yes.
Ha, told
Yeah,
you.
literally.
Yeah.
It was the worst.
Yeah.
It was the worst.
That's what kids do.
I
They
know.
just like to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
And teachers like to ignore because kids, it's like you
Oh,
cry
I was the
wolf.
worst kid too, so I probably
You
would
cry
have.
wolf a lot, and they're
Yeah.
like, nope, just
Yeah,
ignore
yeah.
them.
Yeah, so I didn't blame him. But
that's Cammie. She cries wolf a lot.
so then when it actually happens, it's kind of a.
This is recorded.
It's okay. She has elevated body temperature. Like it already reads above normal.
So she uses
she
that to
uses
her
that
advantage.
to her
I love
advantage a
it.
lot.
Smart girl.
If she's not feeling it, she's like, I need to go to the nurse. I don't feel good. And then they take her temperature.
And it's like 99.
99.4.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, it's a
Look
little
right to you.
elevated. You should probably, and then now with COVID,
Oh,
Yeah.
they're like, see ya. I'm
That's
like,
true.
Kimmy, you got to stop going to the nurse. You're never going to be in school.
That's true. What were your guys' go-to to like get out of school? What would you do?
I never
I had
did that.
migraines. You never got out?
No, I like school.
I missed a
Oh.
lot of elementary. Well, I didn't miss. I just couldn't do homework. I had bad migraines growing up.
Mm.
So middle school, I would miss a lot. But I legitimately was sick, like throwing up off the school bus in the middle of classroom. Like I went to the nurse's station, but I had gone so many times that my dad couldn't take off work. So they were like, just go back and sit at the desk. So I went, put my head down, and then like seconds later, I threw up everywhere.
Dang.
Yeah, you may want to edit that.
Nah,
No, I hated
good
school.
stuff.
I did.
I loved it.
I didn't want to go ever. I would do like the really dumb stuff, like eat cereal in the morning and then try to like act like I threw it up, but it was like full things of Cheerios. So my mom would be like, "Phil, they're literally it's a full circle Cheerio.
Right.
You didn't throw it up."
Put it in your
wasn't
mouth and then
digested.
spit
yeah.
it out.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I'm
Should've
feeling
cheated a
terrible.
little bit.
I didn't really think about it. I was just
Yeah.
kind of like, I'm sick.
I loved school. I always liked school. And we always went on vacations. So I've never had perfect attendance. Like we always did stuff as a family. So
Yeah.
I think there was
Yeah, my
no
attendance messed up too.
ever
Resentment.
excuse to not want to be in
Yeah.
school because we were out a lot.
Mm. What was the worst you guys ever got in trouble in school? Ever get suspended or anything?
Oh, first grade.
First grade?
First grade. And it scarred me for life and I never got in trouble again.
What'd you do?
What was
I
it?
made fun of my first grade teacher. She was singing and it was bad. And I made fun of her and they put me in the hall and then made me go to the principal's office. And he just said, you can't
Never
do
again.
that. And I bawled, cried. I had
Yeah.
never got in trouble. I was a good kid. It made me feel really bad. And I don't know if I ever really got in trouble again after that because
Wow.
she scarred me for life. But she was not a good singer.
No.
Rest in peace. She's not alive anymore, but she's not a good singer. She was old already as
Yeah.
it was.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think mine was in first two. I pulled the fire alarm.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
like
I
federal
always thought
offense.
about it. So how did it
Pulled it.
feel? Because I
No,
thought
it
about
was
that all the time.
I felt like I was a rebel and living on
Yeah.
the edge in the moment. And then we were all sitting in a circle in Miss Whitaker's classroom. I'll never forget. And they were like, we need the person that did it to come forward. And I don't know if I told on myself because I was that kid. I told on myself. Or if they like somehow maybe looked at like a recording. I don't really know because I don't think
They probably didn't have that back
recordings were
then.
back then. So anyway, I ended up going to the principal's office and I felt horrible. Like I felt like a bad kid, but I didn't get in trouble. I mean, it was more of like a,
Don't do that.
yeah.
Yeah,
They were
that's what
really
mine was.
gracious to me.
Yeah. Man. I always thought about what it would feel like.
Yeah, it felt good in the moment.
When
I
you
was
did
like,
it was like,
"Ooh."
yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
A little rebel.
See, no, I'm never that person, ever. My youngest takes after me. Like, I am straight and narrow. I don't want to do anything that's going to get me in trouble. Like, oh, I can't breathe right now. It, like, tenses me up thinking about doing something like that.
Yeah, I got expelled in school, so that's where we're at.
Yeah, that's
What'd you
okay.
do?
Oh, just
Like deserving? Was it deserving?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I
That
feel
was
like
before I met the Lord.
anybody that gets expelled from school is probably deserving of it. I think they're pretty gracious with kids nowadays.
Yeah.
And even back then, I think they were gracious. Yeah, because they don't know their home life or whatever. So they're like,
that's so true.
no, let's just
Give them a chance.
give them a chance. But if you're expelled, you really did something wrong.
That's so true.
Never got expelled.
I didn't either. I skipped
that's
school
good.
one day in high school, and I sat in the Walmart parking lot the whole day because I was terrified to go anywhere.
Oh, Lord.
Terrified. Not kidding. I was so afraid, and I never did again. And to this day, my family did not know that I skipped school.
They do now.
Oh yeah, it's out there now.
They do
If
now.
they watch this.
Uh-oh.
That's so true.
I skipped school a couple times when Jamie and myself were dating.
Rebel.
Yeah.
I know.
And he was in college. And so, like, he would come down. So, at the back of Sauk City High School, they had, like, portables. And no, there was never any security or anything out there. So, like, after third block or whatever it was back then, you just walk out like you're going to a portable. And he had his little red Mitsubishi Eclipse waiting for me. And I just get in and we would leave.
Aw. That's
Yeah.
nice.
I love it. Telling the secrets of the pastor.
Yeah. It's okay.
So how was it growing up in church for you guys though? What was that like? Was that very similar experiences to school? Never,
Didn't go.
yeah. Did you ever skip? I mean, like for me, like school was one of those like I hated and I never wanted to go. Church was like I didn't even think about having the option. It was just kind of like 100% at church all the time. So how was that? How was that for you guys? I know you had, how did you grow up? What did you grow up in?
Catholic.
Catholic?
Yes. And so it was, it was routine. We went like Wednesday nights for CCD classes, and we went Sunday or Saturday.
What's a CCD class?
I don't know. Catholic.
You know what it stands for?
It's something, it was like youth classes, but they called it CCD classes. Okay. So maybe like child Catholic something.
Development or something.
Yeah, that we could go with that if you're watching, I'm sure.
Catholic conversion development.
Oh, you knew that?
No, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know
Sounds
either.
right.
That sounds good.
We're just throwing out
examples.
Yeah, but I only went till second grade, and I got my first communion. It was super awkward when you have to go into the
confessional.
And talk to the priest and tell him
Say your
all the
sins.
bad stuff you've ever done.
And you
That's
said in first grade first grade I made fun of my teacher. Is that what you told him?
Probably.
Yeah.
I told him I cussed a few times. I remember that. And you can either like sit right in front of him so you can see him face to face, or you could sit behind the screen, so he can't see you. I chose to sit in front of him because I like to know what
their facial expressions
are.
are.
I like to know what their facial expressions
Even as a second grader, you felt that.
Yeah, I did. I didn't want, and then I thought, well, I don't know what this person looks like. I don't want to be weirded out. I want to know if something happens, I want to identify this person. It's probably my thing.
That knows all your secrets now.
Yeah, he knows all my secrets. Cussed a few times. Took a few drags of my parents' cigarettes when they left them in the ashtray. They don't smoke anymore, but back in the day they did.
Very good.
Yeah.
And then I stopped going.
You stopped going at what point?
My parents had gotten separated, so they kind of like, back in the day, I don't know if they still do it, but they kind of don't want you coming to church. Yeah. So we stopped going.
Interesting.
And then they got back together, but still it was just weird by then. You don't feel
But
comfortable.
how old are you at that point?
5th grade.
That they got back together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yep. So they got back together, and then because of everything that happened, they probably were church hurt like a lot of people and just were like, forget it. So we ended up like being holiday Catholics. We went Easter, and we went like midnight mass, Christmas Eve. That was never fun.
Did it ever mean something to you?
No.
Never?
No. Ever. And there was never like a relationship. It was more routine. Like, oh, this is what you do. This is why you do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so there was never anything that
Personal.
it was not personal at all. It was just, this is what you do, so you do it. So there was never a meaning behind any of it for me.
So jump like from that place of what church meant to you, what was the transition of like, okay, church actually, and like different, obviously completely different belief system, but what was that like? What was like the stepping into that system like, and kind of having
scary.
that, yeah?
Yeah, super scary, super weird.
What was like the first kind of bits that you had of it?
I remember it was a Sunday. Jamie and I were dating. He picked me up in his dad's little like red truck.
How long have you guys been dating at this point?
I don't have a good memory.
Was it like really
Fresh.
long?
It was fresh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was fresh.
Okay.
It was fresh. My brother and his friend, she came to the same church. It was like his best friend, in high school. She invited him as well. I don't know, maybe it was like a invite your friend day or something. So we both went, which is odd because we just we didn't go to church anyway. So we're like, we thought it would just be like a Catholic
Similar,
church.
right? Yeah.
Very similar. Like stand up, sit down, kneel, holy water, make the sign of the cross before you go into the pew, that kind of stuff. And it was not. It was not. They took up, the guy taking up offering. And they didn't take up offering, really. I don't remember. They like passed a plate around. Like we knew it was time to do it. So this guy was like into it, taking up an offering, and then got filled with the Holy Spirit, dropped the mic, and ran. Like took off.
Day one.
Day one. First thing ever.
Oh my goodness.
My brother and I looked at each other and said, "We're leaving." So we literally got up and left.
Yeah.
And stood outside. Yes. Yeah, we both did. We were like, what is this? Y'all are crazy. Like, this is weird. I'm not doing this. And left.
That's so
And it was weird. It scared me.
So what was the conversation like after that?
I think I
Was
was
it a
in
long
like...
one? Or was it kind of...
No, Jamie's always been super, like...
Like, was he
gentle?
Yeah.
He was very
understanding
gentle.
of it,
Yeah, and knew, like, didn't
the
go to
time to
church, took the
explain.
time to explain it. And still, like, when he explained it to me, I thought, y'all are crazy.
Right.
That doesn't happen.
Right.
Like, y'all, like, that's weird. This is, like, cult-like. I really thought that. I was like, I don't know what y'all believe in, but that doesn't happen in church.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it took a while to get me back to come.
So what was, like, the next big moment that you felt like you embraced it? Or that you started to get more comfortable, or like you...
I don't know if I ever got comfortable with it.
With that?
For years.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for years. And then I think, I don't think I really ever got comfortable until we started dating again. We had broken up for a few years while he was in college. And then he came back over summer when we got back together and started dating again. And then realized that he was the one, like we were going to get married. So I think that's whenever I kind of opened up a little bit more to it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it took a very long time for me to fully like dive embrace it.
Yeah.
Because it still was a little weird for me.
So for you growing up in church, it was more of like you saw a lot of what you didn't want in church. Like you saw a lot of like, this means nothing.
Yeah, it means
this
nothing.
is-
Right. Yeah. Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What was your experience like?
I grew up in a Pentecostal church.
Yeah?
So, I embraced it from early on. I loved it. Like, my favorite song growing up was, I don't even know the name of it, but it's Jesus. There's just something about that name. And I remember being a kid and, like, having my hands up, and I loved it. My heart has always been, I've enjoyed it very much. There was a time that I didn't go as frequently because of home dynamics, but, it's always been a part of me, I think. Now, there are times, obviously, I was a rebel or went through a period of brokenness where I stepped away and I didn't go and I wasn't a part. But that was also a really dark time. So it was like I wasn't myself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It was always very personal for me growing up.
Thanks. So it stayed consistent relatively.
Yes.
Wow.
Other than like a couple years where there was, a time I went off the rails. But, yeah, other than that, it has been consistent.
And your family's all like that too? Like, or
The
no?
majority, yeah. We all grew up in the church. You know, I think sometimes when we grow up in the church, you can kind of take it for granted a little, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I think there's that. But most of us, yeah, we definitely see the value. We love the Lord. We have that personal relationship. Majority. Yeah.
When did you realize like it was something that you wanted to be a part of though? Like something that you wanted to serve or you wanted to like invest in?
Okay, like ministry-wise?
Yeah.
That actually really probably didn't happen until this year,
Wow.
to be honest. Ministry-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, my heart's always been for the Lord, but I remember when I got engaged to Wally, he came here for missions, and I remember telling him it was our first date. We were doing devotions on the beach, and he was telling me he was
For
interested.
your first date,
Yes,
devotions
it was his
on the
birthday.
beach.
It was his birthday, and I knew he was.
Take notes, gentlemen.
It was his birthday, and so
We
we
need a
went
sound effect
for
for
sunrise.
that.
For sunrise, actually, we went there for sunrise. But he told me he was interested in me, and I said, "Well, I am not here. I'm not meant to be a missionary's wife. Like, that's not for me. I'm not meant to be in ministry. Like, I'm a nurse. That's what I'm doing." And it really wasn't until this year that I felt like the Lord shifted my thinking.
Wow.
And really drew me after his kingdom and kingdom work for him. And it's been a process. I mean, even Wally will tell you, like, I'm a different person. He's like, you went from, like, the opposite end of the pendulum. Like, it's, you know. But, I mean, my heart's always been for the Lord, but never for kingdom.
Yeah, that's super
Kingdom
cool though.
thinking. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a cool story.
Yeah.
I feel like we should dig into that devotion on the beach.
Yeah, how was that devotion on the
It
beach?
was wonderful.
Do you remember what it was?
I really don't. Not at
It
all.
wasn't obviously
It
wonderful.
was at sunrise. It was early.
a
And
sunrise
yeah.
date.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it was his birthday, so I wanted to make it special. And then we went
Nice.
kayaking on a tandem, and I don't know how we ended up married because it was. Don't ever do it. Don't ever do that. Oh my goodness! It
Kayaking
really
on a tandem?
together. So it was a two.
Is that like that's a rowboat?
Kayaking? No, it was kayaking. You have your little rower,
Okay.
you know, and but it's a two-person.
So
like
you-
a two-person kayak, so you have to
So
work
you-
together.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so you knew right away if y'all would work together.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we did not work together.
But that's
it was.
but that's the magic of it, right?
Yeah.
Is you make it through a moment where it's
Oh.
like there was just straight chaos.
It was.
And
Did you ever
you
want to
see-
yelling.
take the oar and hit him because he
Oh,
made you
Oh,
mad?
I
yeah.
wanted to throw
yeah.
him off. And he's just such a happy person. Like, he was just rowing along. Well, not rowing, but kayaking along. And he's just such a happy person. And he was like, I want to go in the middle. And I was like, we will die in the middle. We have to go to the side. Oh, my goodness. It
Go
was
in
crazy.
the middle.
Yeah, it was really.
Did you ever have to like? Did he ever refer to like the devotion? Like, hey, we just talked about patience this
No,
morning.
but my sister was with me. She was leading us. She was like our guide, our little
Okay.
kayak guide. She was on a paddle boat. And I knew, even though I had told him I wasn't interested in dating, I said, I just want to be friends that day. And I made it very clear. But while we were on the kayak tour, it was just us three, but we took this little side like area. And he said, come over here. And he brought me and my sister, and she's 2 years older than me. And he said, he shared something with her about the Lord and her life. And then he asked me to pray for her. And that was the first time in my life. And growing up, me and my sister kind of had a rocky relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time that I had ever got to pray for her, like out loud.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew walking away, I didn't even really pray out loud at that time much, like with people. But then I got to share my heart with her. And I just knew something was different about him. I knew, like, even though I felt like we weren't going to, like, at the time I wasn't interested that way, but I knew he was different. And, I mean, I knew he was from the Lord at that moment.
Yeah.
Hands down from the Lord.
Awesome.
That's cool.
I love that.
That is cool.
So like how are the moments that you had to like integrate different type of culture, different tradition stuff? Like what was that all like?
Well, our wedding was, I think, the first one. Like, I wanted it to be a little bit of his culture, but I didn't really know a lot about his culture.
Give background for anybody that doesn't know.
Oh, he's Egyptian. So he came here for missions with YWAM to Hawaii.
Oh,
And
with
then-
YWAM.
With YWAM.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And then he was
YWAM.
there for 3
Yeah.
months, and he felt the Lord call him here. So, do what?
Wanna fix this?
Yeah, like I don't like that this keeps hitting it, and I feel like I can't sit up straight, and I feel like a slug.
You're not a slug up. I feel like I'm leaning over a little bit.
Let me hide that. That's what we do as girls.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so he came with YWAM, and then the Lord brought him down to Myrtle Beach, and I was travel nurse at the time, and then I ended up coming to a church and that he was at with my sister and brother-in-law, and that's how we met. But he had only been here, he had traveled here quite often, like over the years, but he had only been here officially where he was planning to stay since September of the year before we met. And we met in June, so it hadn't even been a full year.
Yeah.
But what was your question?
Just we can refine it, right?
ADD.
So like even with Thanksgiving coming up, like
oh yes,
like Thanksgiving, is that something like for all of us? Like, what were your traditions like? And then for like Waleed, was that something that like did that look different? Was it like
they didn't have Thanksgiving?
Okay,
they don't have Thanksgiving.
there you go.
They have Christmas, but it's January 7th. So they usually.
Oh yeah, Thanksgiving is an American thing.
No, it's
right?
American. It's the Indians and the Pilgrims.
Yeah, the Pilgrims.
Right.
So they didn't have Indians and Pilgrims in Egypt?
No.
What did they have?
I don't know.
Yeah, did they have something similar?
Did they have something similar? Yeah.
I don't think so.
So like a founding day, like
it's a Muslim country, so there's things like Ramadan. There's
right.
there's
Gotcha.
Muslim traditions in there. So yeah, it could be different.
Yeah, so they probably have something.
Yeah.
Like a Passover.
Yeah.
So like when you talked to him about Thanksgiving for the first, he was like, "What is this?"
Well, I explained it to him, but I was like, I explained about the Indians and the Pilgrims, and there was a lot of bloodshed, and he's just like, oh, like.
And then we ate together.
And then I said, we come together and eat. And he's
that is one of the holidays that like once you break it down to someone, you start to realize like, oh yeah, we're celebrating murder.
Yeah,
we're about food.
Yes.
Let's all unite
Yeah, it's
with
about
everything.
food.
Makes
America.
Food.
Let's
Everything.
eat.
Right.
Who cares that you just killed my sister? Let's eat together.
A little awkward.
Okay.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's true.
But he does Christmas and he does Valentine's. And I didn't realize that he did Valentine's.
Yes.
Until like within this year. Because he wasn't, I felt like I had to kind of coach him on like Valentine's, like how to, give gifts and like when we were dating. And like, this is what girls like. And then I find out from his sister that like Valentine's is huge there. And I was like, sneaky. So now he does Valentine's. I mean, he always did it, but I felt like I had to coach him and he doesn't need to be coached.
Maybe he just wanted to know what you liked.
Maybe. That's so true.
Yeah.
He does always want to make me
Because sometimes
happy.
we have to tell our husbands
Oh, yes.
or boyfriend or
sure.
whoever what we like.
Yeah, and he'll tell you
or we
he's
won't
not
get
like
what
the
we
most
want.
romantic. Like he has to kind of be taught. He's not one that's like I'm real lovey dovey, and he's not. That's just not him. He's not as much. So
Me neither.
but I know, and see, I really am.
I'm the man in the relationship and Jamie's the female.
Yeah.
True.
So what was Thanksgiving like for you guys' families though? You guys have a big traditions, just the common stuff.
Stuffing inside of the turkey or outside of the turkey. That's a big difference, right?
It is a difference.
Yeah.
And is it like stuffing or do you call it dressing?
Oh, never
Yeah, I've heard
really.
both as well.
Right. So
We
we
always
called
did
it
outside.
stuffing.
We never did inside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think ours was outside.
Yeah.
We did inside.
You did inside?
I think I never ate it because I didn't like it because it was inside the turkey and it was
Maybe.
like moist.
Yeah.
That
Well,
word. That
could you-
word.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
called it stuffing because it was stuffed in the turkey.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite desserts though?
Pumpkin pie.
My mom.
Pumpkin
see,
pie?
I don't like
Oh,
pumpkin. I'm not a pie
anything
fan.
pumpkin except a drink. I don't like a pumpkin drink, but like food, anything pumpkin.
I'll do
I'm
it
all
pumpkin.
for it.
I'm down
I
for
could
pumpkin.
probably eat it out of the can, like the pumpkin
wow.
filling.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Oh, I've never tried it. We should do that.
Try it.
Just to see if we like it. But anything pumpkin, I like it.
We didn't really. It wasn't a dessert, but it's strawberry pretzel salad. I actually bought it today.
Strawberry pretzel salad.
Yes, and it's a like family tradition. My mom always made it.
Is
Is
that
it got cream cheese on it?
Yes.
It's
is
what
that the
Miss
one?
Kathy
Yes.
made.
Yeah.
So
It's-
good.
Oh my goodness!
It's
well, so I
amazing.
made
You'll need
it
to
this
hide
year.
it.
Let me tell you, I made it
I
this
didn't know
year,
that was
but
called. Yeah.
I made it in a
That's what it's called
huge
either.
like lasagna pan to
Yeah.
try and
Yes.
like make because it's so big.
We should just keep it in the fridge and
well,
not tell anybody.
no, it look
Post
on the
this
top. It
after.
looks bad. It looks
This is getting
bad on the
cut.
top.
This is getting cut.
It looks bad on. I wrote on it strawberry pretzel salad, but it looks bad on the top because all the Jello sunk
Sunk
down
to the bottom.
So now it like doesn't look appealing. So maybe not many people will eat it.
We just won't bring it out.
Yeah,
We'll just leave it for us.
It's
yeah.
it's so good.
There's
But that
another.
thing-
There's another fridge somewhere. We
Yeah.
can put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing, I don't care how it looks. I mean,
It's so
it is.
good. That's it. The Jello's gonna Jello anywhere, in
Yeah.
it. So, yeah. And then we always decorated on Christmas or on Thanksgiving for Christmas. We put our
That's
tree up.
okay. So this is controversial,
Yeah.
right? This is a booger. What is the right way?
I don't
Oh,
think.
my tree's up now.
Your tree fully.
Fully decorated.
Wow.
Now outside isn't, But our neighbor just decorated outside, so I was like, ooh, it's fair game.
Oh, fair game.
We're doing
It's
it.
on.
That's what my
Let's
mom
go.
did.
Yep.
My mom did the
saw
same
your
thing.
mom's,
She
yeah.
just did yesterday. She did it because the neighbor did.
Yeah.
Right. You don't want to be the first one when it comes to
Not
that.
for outside.
'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to be those
What's the lady
people.
from Grinch? What's her name? You know what I'm talking about?
Cindy Lou Who?
No, the mom, right? The one that they did like the competition back and forth.
Miss Luhu?
Miss Lou.
Mrs.
Sure.
Mrs. Who?
Or is it the one that's in love with the Grinch?
Yeah, that one.
That one. I don't know her name, but
That
I know
one.
she's in love with the Grinch.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the Jim Carrey Grinch
Mm-hmm.
one? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they had that little like competition where they're
Yes.
like
Yes.
back and forth. Yeah,
Right.
that's my mom for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm not like that.
I'm not like that either, but I just
White.
love
I'm a
Christmas.
white light girl.
Yeah.
Me too.
Jamie's a colored
Very
person.
clean
Colored
and-
light person.
Mhm.
Is he real nostalgic? Is he really a nostalgic person?
I don't know. I think he's Southern and he just likes colored lights.
Well,
he's
I'm
from
Southern,
Anger.
but I don't.
So
well,
is it colored on the tree?
Sorry.
I feel like-
yes, he
Yeah.
wants colored
See, I feel like
outside.
colored
He
makes
wants
you think
colored
of-
on the tree. He is
wow.
and we have always been a white light person. White lights outside, white lights on the
Symmetrical.
tree, like white candles in all the windows.
I like the colored. I like the
white
colored when it has like the
lights.
music kind of like bouncing to it.
Okay,
Like that's
I could
fun.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
then it feels intentional.
Yes.
It feels like it's like a party.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
where it's like if it's just sitting there or like a colored tree, like a colored lights tree, like the rainbow kind of
Doesn't make sense.
feels more tacky.
It reminds
I
me of my
agree.
childhood.
Yeah.
It reminds me of my childhood.
Yeah,
And
feels
that's why I
nostalgic.
wondered if he's nostalgic because I feel like that was very
That's all they
popular.
used, yeah. But I'm the same age, and we did white.
But you're not a real nostalgic person, are you?
Probably not.
Like you don't like. Are you? Do you hold keepsakes and stuff from
No.
like? Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if he
don't
is,
tell
though.
my kids that either. Like all the papers they get
I didn't hold
from
any.
school.
No.
I
you toss
may,
them.
yeah, I'm not that person. I do have
Sorry,
their baby
kids.
stuff. Like I still have the umbilical cord. I still have the first cut of hair.
Okay.
The creepy stuff.
Yeah.
The weird stuff
Pretty much.
that like can identify them.
Right.
If
Ooh.
something happens.
Right.
Or
Or
like
be
the
planted for murder.
papers. Like, if you give me a card, I'm sorry, I don't keep it.
What about their like little toys and stuff? Like their favorite toys or like their
No.
little blankies? Nothing.
Not their.
Blankies maybe.
Favorite toy, Carson. It was a pink monk. It was a cat. It had like whiskers. She's had it since she was a newborn. Like it was
Aw.
one of it. And
You got rid of it.
no, she needed a dog. She really wanted a
Hazel.
dog. Hazel, her Irish Doodle, begged for it for years. So we finally gave in and got her own
And the
dog.
dog ate
and the dog
Yeah.
ate it.
Not shocking at all.
No, she's a crazy dog.
Yes.
She acts like Carson. She is Carson as a dog. They go perfect together. And she can't get mad at her because
She wanted it.
she wanted it. She wanted
Yeah.
the dog.
Yeah.
So like that was the only toy I ever kept.
Wow.
Even like
That's
blanket. I don't keep any of that stuff. And then her dog
Dang.
ate it. Ripped the head off. I've had to do like plastic surgery 2 or 3 times on it.
Oh my god.
Putting more
Didn't make
stuffing
it.
in it. No, it's headless now. Carson has it still. She sleeps with it still.
Oh, headless?
Yeah, so the stuffing is out of
That's
the
the
head.
stuff of
and
nightmares.
she took
That is the stuff of nightmares.
like a scrunchie and holds the
Oh my
stuffing
goodness.
in,
A
but still
scrunchie.
uses it
You could
every
sew
night.
the scrunchie on
I
with
have
it.
done that a couple times. No,
Yeah.
I've already done that. There's
Well,
nothing left. I told Carson I'm not doing it anymore.
Son.
Nope,
Don't
it's
leave it
done.
on your
It's
bed
done,
where the
though.
dog
I
can
had
get it.
all of my like childhood toys. Like I collected Batman toys and I had like a bunch of stuffed animals and blankies and all that stuff. And I had it in a tub. And when my sister Fa had Geo, I gave it to her when she lived in
Aw, that's
Mississippi.
nice.
Yeah, it was like all my favorite
That's
toys.
cool.
And I thought to myself like, oh, like one day, you know, when I have my own kids, I can just get it back.
Yeah.
And it had good use. They left it in Mississippi when they moved and forgot it there, and I lost all of it.
Oh my goodness. Lesson
Such a
learned.
good
Never
I would
give
say
her
that
anything.
subliminally and kind of like not at her, but I'm totally adding her. Like,
Yeah.
and I remind her
Never
to this
again.
day.
I would-
yeah.
You're
like
a little
that,
bitter about it.
That was going to my kids.
And doesn't that make you not want to do it ever again for anybody else?
No, it makes me do the opposite. Well, like to give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me like just want to do this.
Hold everything.
Hold
Like,
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm never.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
putting
Yeah.
myself
You don't
out there
trust anyone
anymore
else.
Yeah.
Especially
because
family.
I did it once.
Yeah, like
I got
it'll probably
burned.
come up in therapy in like 5 years. Like it'll probably be one of those things that I
Yeah.
uncover some
You'll
truths
have to
about.
have a forgiveness conversation
Yeah.
with her later.
I've
Like,
really-
I intentionally
yeah.
forgive you.
You're supposed to forgive. You're a Christian.
I know.
Forgive and forget.
I know.
right?
Yeah,
I do
that's a tough
forgive her.
one.
I
It's
just
the forgetting.
I'm
that's
not
tough.
forgetting it.
when I have, I think it's gonna resurface when I have my kid.
Yeah.
Right.
When I have
Yeah.
my kid, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I
would-
wish I could have gave you all this stuff.
You'll just have to be really intentional to not be upset about it.
Yeah.
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 Let me silence
It'll be
my
all right.
phone.
It'll be okay. All right. So obviously this is the first podcast. I feel like we're talking to them directly for the first time. They've been here for a bit. This is the first podcast in the new building, so that's exciting. Woo woo woo. So we got our new kind of set here that we're gonna be doing the podcast from.
Okay.
But
This your room?
yeah, this is
I
the
love
this
it.
is
This is
gonna
the
be
podcast
it.
room.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
right now it's just kind of tossed
Paint a
together,
little
but it'll be dope once we get
Very
it
nice.
looking, official. But that being said, I would love to hear your guys' perspective with the new move. We've talked about it a few times on the podcast with different people, but from each different kind of place here, I've been out of, I don't know, 9-10 years, maybe 8 years. You're good. You've been here from, day one, and then about a year?
A little over a year.
So what does it feel like right now? What's the feeling? Does it feel like to me right now, I haven't really digested much. It feels like it's still just everything's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's churning in your stomach and you're waiting for the throw up to happen and it hasn't happened
Maybe.
yet. That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that visual.
Like it's just
like
yeah.
gurgling and being real
Fermenting
noisy.
in there.
And you're just like, if it's going to explode, just go.
And every time someone mentions like, oh, I was driving by and it felt so incredible to see the sign there, and it was like, it hit me like in that moment.
Yeah.
It's like it hasn't, like it still feels like it's just
It's
bubbling up.
Yeah, it's bubbling. It's going to be.
That's how you feel.
It's gonna, yeah. And I feel like we just keep eating to maybe calm the storm inside.
And it's not going away.
It's only making it worse.
It's gonna make it worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited though. I
Yeah.
am excited.
It's super exciting.
It
It's
is.
just a little surreal for me. Coming from like a double wide trailer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then going to a shared building and then going to the what I thought was a big one.
Yeah.
Now where we're currently at, and then is it like this one's quadruple the size of our current one. So it's surreal. It's like, holy crap. What have we gotten
Yeah.
ourselves into? At some point, I know it's not like, I know it's all God driven. Like this is where we're supposed to
Right.
be. But it's still like, it hasn't settled yet. And I think because we have a lot going on to try to redo the building, like
Yeah.
the old
Yeah.
part,
There's a lot.
revamping it, like, tearing up carpets, ripping up tile, repainting walls and bathrooms. So I feel like once that settles down and that's done, then I can take a step back, throw all the stuff up that's in my stomach,
Yeah.
and then be excited because that part's done.
Yeah.
You're just in motion right now.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm just like,
Everyone, yeah.
just kind of going with it right now.
From task to task.
Yeah, I'm not able to enjoy it
No,
yet.
you can't absorb it. You
No.
can't really. It's in the calm that you'll be able to really. I think all of us will be
Right.
able to really let it sink in.
Maybe that first service is when I'll get emotional about it.
Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah, I'm not yet because I think I'm like trying to make myself numb to it because I don't want to get overwhelmed. I can get overwhelmed really easily,
Yeah.
and then my anxiety will
Yes.
kick in, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm just trying to like
Work mode.
eat it and like just
Eat
keep
it.
pushing
Yeah.
it down,
Yeah.
and then it'll all explode that first day. I probably won't. When I'm doing announcements, I'll probably bawl and cry the entire time.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
It'll all
Yeah.
come
It'll be
out.
fine.
It's gonna be awesome.
It
So
will.
talking about that first service, what do you think it's gonna be like? Like from just the morning, the feeling, like that first day of school feeling where it's like
Yeah.
you can't sleep and you're like, oh, it's happening. Like this is
Yeah, I think
An
it's going to be
exciting
those like,
nervousness.
oh, it's Christmas morning. I don't want to go to
Yes.
sleep.
yeah.
It'll be that. Like, I won't sleep the night before.
You'll be thinking, is everything done? Like, what do I need
I'm
to
just
do?
going to sleep here.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'll
Yeah.
just sleep in my office.
Right.
Yeah. I have
Yeah.
a shower in
Yeah.
there, luckily.
Okay.
So I'll
Yeah.
just get ready in there. I'll sleep. It'll be fine. Kids,
Figured out.
come in the morning. Make sure you take the dogs to the bathroom and feed them. And then I'll be here.
yeah.
I'll be super excited.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to have everybody worshiping together between the
know.
3 services
I
that we
know.
have, because they're all completely different services, right? Like 8 o'clock is completely different from 9, and 9 is completely different from 11. So I think it's just going to be super cool to have all of them together and see the dynamic and how they complement each other. Right? Because some are, one service is really into like the word, the other service is into worship, and then there's, you know, the 8 o'clock, which are your just like traditional people. So I would love to see how they're going to be with having 3 songs instead of 1, like just
It'll
the
be cool.
dynamic. It's going to be super cool.
Even the feeling in the foyer of like when everybody's just like together.
And can fit in the foyer
area,
somewhat together.
Like having coffee and just
at those pretty tables and the glass. Hopefully it's sunny and not raining.
Just the community.
Yeah,
it's
like life happening.
So much. Having all 3 services together is going to be incredible.
It'd be incredible just for staff and people, volunteers in general. Like we won't be so stretched.
Well, and you'll really know people. Like it's not going to be, oh, are they at the 9 service or the 11 service or the 8? It's like you're just going to learn. It's going to be, I think, easier to really learn the people and to build that community because we're all together.
Yeah, I think people are going to be like, oh, I didn't know you came to church here.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of that.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that. Like, oh, you come to church
here?
I
haven't seen you in 2 years.
And you're like, oh, I come to the 8 or,
I
come to the 11. Yeah, like, I'm excited about that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, looking over the past, like, weeks or just time that we've been working here, like, work days here at the church, do you have any moments that you got a little cut?
I do.
Do you have any moments, lessons? Like we had that one moment where it was posted and Pastor talked about it, like seeing like the older generation and the younger generation kind of like working.
Together.
Yeah, like that being like a cool lesson that we've kind of learned in this time. Like what's been a moment for you or a little a snippet of something that's happened over this time?
Yeah. Do you want me to go? You can go.
I mean, I know Wally and I have talked several times just about how incredible it is to see so many people working for God's kingdom, like coming together, giving of their time. It's not even about the money, but giving of their time, and like that's precious. I feel like especially here in America, time is really hard to come by because everyone works so much and it's just such a demanding life here. And so for people to really give of their time to come and further the kingdom and to work together, it's just such a cool thing. It's just, I feel like cool is not even a word that expresses it. You know, it's just really neat to see that.
And they want to do it,
Yes,
which is even
I
like
know.
cooler. Like, there's people reaching out, hey, what can I do? I'm
People
off
that don't
today.
even know,
and you're
that
like,
don't even go
oh,
here.
but you're off today. Like, you should take the day off. You work hard. And they're like, no, I want to come help at the church. And I'm like, it's cool that everybody's excited about it.
It's almost humbling.
Yeah.
That everybody just really like.
Right.
It makes you realize like how many people see this place as theirs.
Yeah.
Like this isn't something that they're like, hey, let me help you out. But it's like, no, let me help. Yeah, like this is my church. I want to help my church.
Yeah,
you know?
it's super cool.
And it's very like, hey, like this is cool.
It's like it's our house. I mean, it is our house. You know, it's the house of the Lord, but it's like it's our home. It's like a second home for everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
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 And there could be like a lot
even the people that don't go here, even the people that just drive by, even the people that just drive by that have stopped to help. Like,
yeah, they don't even come to church here. They're like, hey, we just see you're
those have been
here
cool.
and want to help. And you're like, well, yes. And that's another thing as like a leader, as like a pastor's wife, as a...
No worries.
In high demand.
Always.
High demand.
Yeah, always. And it's the same person that keeps calling me. Obviously, it's important. I should probably get back with her. No, but like, you get to a point where, well, myself, like I've always just done things on my own. Like I've always been that person, like I don't need your help. I can do it on my own. I don't want to bother anybody. Like, no, let me do it. I've always been that person, even as a young married couple, like moving furniture. I'm independent. Like I'll do it. I don't need your help. I grew up like that. Like do it yourself. Yeah. You'll be fine. But then you get here and you are trying to get partitions ready for a overhaul, a paint job, and you work on it for 4 hours by yourself and you're not even a fourth of the way done. It's like, no, okay, I need help.
I need it.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's
I
like
don't have an option.
I need it.
Well, and that's where you're still having growth through all of this too. Like the Lord
Absolutely.
is helping you to grow, to ask for help. I mean, we're all
I think that's
changing.
everybody.
Yeah.
Like we're all so
Absolutely.
used to being able to do stuff ourselves, and now we're
It's-
like we can't do it.
100%.
We really need help.
Yeah.
100%. And
Yeah.
I think it's because like for me, I've realized this sort of like, I know my dysfunction process, and it's like, I don't want to burden you
Yeah.
with my
Yeah.
dysfunctional process.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of
Yeah.
like, I don't want to invite somebody into this mess that I'm
Craziness.
trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you realize like, oh no, I need it. Like even
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
even if
it's
this
bad.
is my mess,
Yeah.
I do need
Yeah.
help with my mess.
I'm really
Yeah.
bad with directions.
yeah.
Angel called and she's like, I need the paint tape. And I'm like, okay. And I'm trying to walk her through and I'm like, I
We figured
really
it out, though.
suck at
No,
giving
we
directions.
totally
Yeah.
figured it
Because I'm
out.
just used to doing everything on
Yes.
my own. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
even like
Hard to explain.
verbal direction is hard.
Right.
Because you're just used to doing it.
Right.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I really suck. I got to
We
get
hang
better
out
at
in the
that.
dysfunction. Though.
We
It's
found
all
it,
right.
though.
That's all that matters.
She found it.
That's all that matters.
After
Yeah.
a phone call and 2 dropped FaceTime calls because it wasn't going through.
And that to me is like the coolest part about building those relationships though, is that you learn to like, okay, like I know that we work well in this way because it's like we both are all okay with having this dysfunction process.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
know we're
like it's totally cool.
Yeah.
You know,
When
like,
you get
there's
frustrated
no,
with each other, but it's family. Like you're okay.
Yeah.
Like it's not a
Did
frustration.
you
It's
get
a
frustrated
No,
with
no,
me?
no.
Oh.
I just go back to no.
That's
Oh my
so bad.
goodness, not at all. Not at all. I promise. Not
Yeah.
at all,
Really
guys.
did
No.
good.
No, I go back to like what Pastor said when we became members. He was like, "You
Yeah.
are going to get frustrated with me. I'm going to get
100%.
frustrated with you.
Yeah.
Like that's family.
Yeah.
But you love each other, you forgive each other,
Okay,
and you
good.
move forward." I totally was not frustrated.
Okay, good.
At all.
I can be
Not
very
at all.
frustrating.
But I'm saying,
I'm
even in trying to
directing.
understand the mess,
Yeah.
like everyone, so many people coming from different walks of life
Right.
and have gone through their own traumas, their own, I mean, just like you're going to want to hold things close to you because of what your sister did.
Yeah.
No bitterness there.
Yeah.
But
I'm
That-
never giving a blankie
that
away.
when you
Christmas
don't give
gift.
something
Give him
away.
some Batman stuff.
She
It'll
offered
never
that.
be the same.
She
For
offered
his
that when it
future
first
kids.
happened. She said, "I can just buy you some more," and I was like,
It'll never be the
14. I'm like, it's not the same. Yeah.
I'm sure
yeah.
it's on Facebook Marketplace somewhere. You can find the
such
old
a good
stuff.
point,
eBay. Go look on eBay for Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's so, I mean, we're just
Yeah.
all coming from different walks of life. So, like, we have to have forgiveness and realize that not everything is going to be easy
Yeah.
and perfect.
I think that's the biggest thing too, is like understanding that like
Yeah.
you're gonna have yours, I'm gonna have mine.
Yep.
Yours isn't better or worse than mine. It's just different, and it's
Yeah.
gonna look different. You know.
Right.
Absolutely.
So going into this, where we're weeks away.
Weeks
Take
away
a deep
till
breath.
Weeks
I felt
away.
that
Throw up.
sigh.
Weeks away. What is your what are you most excited for, and what's been your favorite thing about this place so far? So it's a 2-parter. Closing out. What are you most excited for? What's been your favorite thing so far?
I'm most excited for it to be over with.
the like the process of it.
Yeah, the
where
process.
it just happens.
Yeah.
We're there.
I get asked, I have my Angie, she's amazing best friend, armor bearer. Like every day she's like, what can I do to help you? And I'm like, make this go away and be done. Like just snap
Finish
your
it
finger
off.
and like
Yes.
let everything be finished so we
Yeah.
can get going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. What was the question again?
What are you most excited for, and what's been your favorite thing here? Like, what's been your favorite part of the building, or what's been your favorite thing in this process? What's been your
I love I'm not the best at it, but I love like redesigning stuff. Like making it more modern or
Yeah.
like more us, which is my favorite. Like I can spend some money and it's bad and I've had to stop. But like, oh, new tables here, new chairs here because I don't like that. And
I was
like,
literally in the car with Caleb last night, and I told him like, if I could have one like favorite hobby and it had no consequence, it would be to like take someone else's money
yeah.
And
and
make something new.
go renovate like houses.
Yes.
And like they just tell me
Right.
whatever, like
Yes.
you know,
and you do
Yes.
it. Yeah.
like you know
No
how
cap
cool
on
that
the
yeah.
spending.
Not that this is the same thing, but like I thought about like
It's a
this,
little
the
bit.
feeling,
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit, yeah. But it's like the feeling of like I don't have to think about this part of it. It's
Right.
just like making it look
Yeah.
like, you know,
and
that'd be
I'm
cool. That'd
the
be
money's
fun.
already allocated for this, so it's not like I'm
Right.
taking it from anything.
Yeah, so
Like,
mine would
it's
be a
been
little bit different.
allocated.
Mine would be different. Mine would be like some billionaire
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
there, and he's just like, I have 20 homes, just make them look however.
Right.
That would be
Right.
fun.
That would be so much
Right?
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so much fun spending someone else's
That's
money.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is.
I mean, I like
You don't
spending
you
my
don't
own
see it coming out of
sometimes,
your
but-
bank account.
Oh,
you
yeah,
see
that
it
is nice.
like you don't even have to look at the bank account.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, here, go spend.
Yeah.
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 That would be
So that
fun.
would be fun.
That would be really fun. Yeah. Hey, hit us up. We're ready for you.
Yeah.
If you want-
Hey, man.
hey, we'll spend your money for you
Yeah.
if you need us to.
gladly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll
But
make
you'll
your
get
home
to
pretty.
enjoy the profits of it. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
not like we're saying we'll spend money to make our house nice. Like,
Right. We'll
we'll
Yeah.
renovate your
money.
homes.
Yeah.
We'll enjoy
It'll be
every
like 3
second.
different styles.
Yeah.
It could be cool.
You
I
could
would
do.
I would do
yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Do one house like very modern, do the next
Mm.
one kind of farmhousey, do the next one.
Boho.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's industrial,
Oh,
exposed
Oh, industrial.
brick.
Yeah, I like
That'd be
industrial.
dope.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
This
The
is
inside
cool.
do brick walls.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
That'd be dope.
That would
That
be cool.
is
Yep.
very nice.
Favorite room here is the like glass room in the foyer where we're gonna set up the tables
Yeah.
for the cafe, like people to eat, hang out. Like love that room. I just like that 3 walls are glass
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I agree.
above
It's
is
a dope-
glass.
yeah,
Like
it's a
it's
cool
super
space.
cool. Favorite.
Yeah, I will say
I
it's
agree.
Favorite, my favorite space.
Just that foyer area. There's so much light. I mean, there's just yeah.
And I'm gonna love the bathrooms when they're redone.
I'm not envisioning. I haven't got that vision yet of what it is that we're doing with the bathrooms.
Yeah.
I just know they're very outdated, and I'm glad we're doing something.
Yes. And the fact that there's 48 compared to 3
Oh, yeah.
in the old church.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, lots of space for potty.
Lots of space.
That's
no more
my
waiting in the
favorite.
hall to go to the restroom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You
my
can all go
favorite
in there and go to the
thing.
bathroom.
That's
Yeah.
my favorite thing with the whole church.
That's
It's
what I'm
just the
excited about.
possibilities.
The
Gross.
amount. Oh, I thought you were saying the amount of bathrooms.
No.
There's so many
There's
bathrooms.
so many.
Yeah.
It's awesome
It
It's
nice.
incredible.
because we were very limited at our current place right now.
Yeah.
Even the
3
possibility. I've
stalls.
only tried 2 different bathrooms, and it's like there's so many more to try.
I
Yeah, there's
know.
2 up here. Angel didn't even know there was 2 up
I
here.
had
Yeah.
no idea. I've already
Yeah.
tried one of them. Well, I didn't fully try. Just looked in the mirror.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
There's a lot.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's nice.
I mean, once we get the dome up and going, of course, that's gonna be
Your fave.
that's gonna be the fave for sure. Yeah.
It would be my
Once
fave
it's
if
there.
it was.
It's already getting progress, and it's really exciting.
I need to see the progress.
Yeah.
Do.
Because
Yeah, it's exciting.
in my mind,
It's exciting.
calm down.
I know.
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
an eyesore.
But I also really love the sanctuary. I love the seating up top. Like when we were going through praying on Monday night, like it was so incredible to be at the very top and look down and just vision that it's going to be full. Like that,
Yeah.
and then everyone worshiping the Lord. Like to me, that was an incredible moment to just think, oh my goodness, like what God is going to do. And it's going to be full. And I don't know, that made my heart so full in that moment.
Yeah, prayer, hearing the music, like hearing Sim play and Pastor, like
Yeah.
hearing that
Yeah.
for the first time was like, oh dang,
Yeah.
That was cool.
it's happening.
Yeah,
is.
it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, having like our first like moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do think that was a moment. Like this
Yeah.
is our home. Like it's real.
Yeah.
It's happening.
It's ours.
Like,
Finally.
yeah.
been a
What is
long
one
process.
thing that if you were to say right now, and then you could look back on a month later and kind of like hear again, what is one thing that you would be like, whether it be how you feel right now so you could reflect on it, like in this very moment, this second, right now, like a quick, like, how do you feel about a month from now, we will be a week into already having services here?
Like what's something to remember?
Yeah, from you right now that you would clip and you would look back and be like, dang, that's how I felt right then.
Not to get overwhelmed. Like just kind of a point to take away. Like I think that God is really moving and it's going to take off, and I want to just remember that it doesn't always have to be perfect. Balls may drop along the way, that, you know, it's just messy, but that it is, God is moving.
Yeah.
And that God is in the midst, and that he will prepare a way. Everything will be okay, and not to get overwhelmed, not to let the enemy really just discourage us or let us get caught up in the noise, to just focus on what God is doing in this moment and how powerful it is, and to just let God work through the mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I would say
Ditto.
yeah, like in the midst of it being so grand, look for the moments.
Yeah.
Like look for the don't get caught up in how big and how grand and how this is incredible. Like look for those small little like, hey, somebody's walking out the door, and you can have like those little moments that we can get so like everything's happening that those kind of get away from us to really soak those things up and to look for them, because they're going to be all around. Yeah. They're going to be plentiful. Like those moments are going to be there for us to take advantage of. So look for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Ditto.
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 Yeah, just don't get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's going to pass. This too shall pass, right?
Yeah.
Like this craziness, this busyness, like this too shall pass. He's here. He's in the midst. He's orchestrating this. And that's what we have to realize, is that it's all about him and his process. And we just have to, he's in control. He already has it. We just have to walk it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen. Well, here we are.
Awesome.
Here we are.
Ooh,
Buckle
we
up.
survived.
Ready
Are we
or
done?
not. Yeah. This is
We survived.
We survived it. Got to the end of it.
Ginormous thing in your face.
It's good though. It's fun.
Yeah, it was actually really fun.
Yeah.
Wasn't that bad?
No, it wasn't. It was actually
too bad?
much better than I expected.
Good.
I will probably, if I ever get invited to do it
You
again.
for sure. You guys both will for sure be on here again.
You heard it.
For sure. For sure.
I will
I will
definitely
wear something
prepare.
different.
I was going to say I will
And
definitely
I will have a
prepare.
different chair, because I just feel like I've been lounging the whole time and unprofessional.
I have enjoyed it.
That's what it's about, though.
So much.
That's the difference with the pod. The pod's supposed to be a little bit more,
laid back.
a little bit more.
Real
Maybe not
conversation.
like.
I know, but that's how this chair is this whole
I
time.
know,
And
mine
I'm like,
too.
I
Mine's
can't.
like way back
And I
here.
can't.
Yeah.
If I sit up, then I'm scared I'm going to move
I
this,
know.
and it's going to mess all
No,
of you
I
up. So
love
this
it.
whole time I'm.
Just take a load
been
off. You
awesome.
need to.
Yeah.
It's been good conversation.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I love it.
Agreed. Well, this has been this week's episode of the pod. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned with everything happening here at the church. Make sure that you're checking everything out. Comment, like, subscribe, do all the things. Love you guys. I think it should be over there on Angel's side.
It's opposite.
What
it'll
is
be
this?
it'll be like a little thing
Okay.
that they can press, and then you'll have like a subscribe one right here.
Oh, then just point somewhere
Yep.
to subscribe. Leave a comment.
Perfect. Yes.
Tell us like how crazy we were.
Yeah.
Share with everyone.
Right.
No.
All right. Love you guys. We'll see you next week. Peace. Yeah, that's it.